Hello and happy Halloween from Twistedheart Puppetworks. We are thrilled to be with you all and the Museum of Make-Believe and to be asked to share our short shadow puppet piece called the Nachtmara in honor of Halloween. Twistedheart Puppetworks is a small puppet company that operates in North County, San Diego, and we specialize in theatrical short form puppetry. We take our inspiration from Gothic horror and folklore, and we try to make stories that are fun and interesting for people and just a little bit twisted. The next piece that you're going to see is a German-inspired story called the Nachtmara, or the Nightmare. And I want you to keep in mind that each one of the puppets mostly is no bigger than my finger, and it's performed on a small shadow screen set inside a picture frame that is no bigger than my hand. So I hope you enjoy this miniature Shadows for One show, the Nachtmara, and happy Halloween.
Once, on the outskirts of the Black Forest in Germany, there lived a woodworker. His name was Klaus Reingroft, and he was the best woodcarver in all the region. Klaus's ancestors had been kings who lived in stunning castles, but Klaus preferred his little house in the forest near all the beautiful trees. Klaus spent his days making wooden toys and puppets for the children in the village, and he made their parents beautiful furniture. He always looked on the families in the village with a tinge of longing, for he desperately wanted a family of his own. One evening, very weary from the work of the day, Klaus went off to bed, and once he was asleep, he had the most frightening dream. He dreamt that a raven flew past the house and dropped a single black feather. The feather floated into the window and alighted on his chest. Once it landed, Klaus could not move. And it did not feel like a feather at all, but 1,000-pound weight crushing his chest. Klaus could not breathe, and indeed, he woke in a pool of his own sweat and coughing in panic. 3 more times he had this dream, and each day Klaus woke up weaker and more ill than the day before. So he decided to visit the old Vita Vivin, or wise woman, who lived down the road to ask her advice.
Please, Vita Vivin, tell me what to do. I am becoming ill from these dreams, and I am afraid I will die.
And so you shall if you do not act quickly. You are being visited by the Nachtmara, a nightmare. She is a witch, and she means to kill you and take your house. She comes in the form of some animal and enters through a small hole in your home. Tonight, you must lie and wait and catch her and then stop her up the hole. Then you must kill her and be done with it, for if you let her live, she will surely have her wish one way or another.
Klaus traveled home, uncertain about killing anything, as violence did not suit his nature, but he was relieved to have a plan. That night, Klaus lay in bed, eating small bits of sugar to keep himself awake. When the clock struck midnight, things in his home became very strange. A frightful wind picked up and lifted his bed sheets. He felt the house grow to freezing temperatures, and in the corner, a candelabra danced in midair. Klaus lay very still, pretending to sleep, and he saw a sleek black cat enter his home from a small hole near the back door. The cat crept over to the bed and paused only a moment before jumping up onto Klaus's chest
and began to crush him.
Klaus wasted no time but jumped up and captured the cat. He took it to the dining table and quickly nailed down one of its paws onto the wood, where it stayed quite trapped. The cat howled and hissed, and, most satisfied with his catch, Klaus stoppered up the hole by the back door and went off to bed. He would decide whether to kill the cat in the morning. He slept very well that night. In the morning, Klaus rose from his bed, and he could barely believe his eyes. He went to the kitchen to look for the cat, but in its place lay the most beautiful naked woman he had ever seen, and her hand lay firmly nailed to the wooden table. When she woke, her eyes stared at him in terror, but Klaus found her visage so pleasing, and desire rose from his body and mind. He assured her firmly.
No, do not be afraid, young miss. I will not be harming you. I shall marry you, and you shall care for me and bear me sons. It is the least you can do for trying to kill me.
The young woman bowed her head and said nothing. So Klaus married the woman, and he had 3 beautiful children with her. For 5 years she was quiet, obedient, and obliging to her familial duties. One day, whilst playing in the home, Klaus's elder son uncovered a hole near the baseboards by the back door. "Papa, Mama, was ist das? I can see outside." Klaus mused as he looked at his wife.
That, my son, is where your lovely mother entered my home, and then I made her my wife.
No sooner had Klaus said the words than the woman hissed at him and immediately transformed into the black cat. She slipped out the hole and disappeared across the field before her husband or children ever knew what was happening. Klaus Reingraft was left alone for just 6 days before all 3 of his children inexplicably died in their beds during the night. On the eve of the 7th night, Klaus awoke to strange fire consuming the walls of his home. Trapped inside with the smoke choking his lungs, Klaus looked through the blaze and out the window. The last thing he saw before the flames overtook him was a sleek black cat bounding away through the tall grasses and disappearing into the dark wood.